everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Now today we have a very, very cool unboxing to show you guys. It's a new statue from Heads or Tails Coins and Collectibles. If you've seen some of the other videos we've done, like for example, unboxing and having a look at this incredible Kilo Viking Berserker statue, then you're in for a treat today because this is a really, really cool new statue. And because it's a Wednesday, and normally on Wednesdays here on my channel we'd have a good old ponderous, thought-provoking discussion, today's topic is going to be all about collectibles and premium pieces of silver like this, and whether or not they really can be an investment, and why perhaps the kind of silver stacking community, or the greater silver stacking community, because there's a lot of people like myself who appreciate these kind of things for what they are, just being art, but there's a lot of people as well who do not like, they viscerally do not like to pay more than a few percentage over spot price for their silver, and view this as just, you know, it's funny because people view it as a bit of a rip-off almost, when really it's just a piece of art made out of silver. So that's kind of the topic of today's discussion. Now, before we crack on with all of that, I want to put a little disclaimer out here to say that this is a sponsored video from Heads or Tails Coins and Collectibles, in the sense that they have very generously offered a affiliate-based discount code of 10% for anybody who wants to purchase anything on their website, not just the Hydra or the Viking Berserker statue that you see here. The code is BYB Hydra. That's down in the description below, and there's also a link to their website and to the Hydra itself. If you use that code, we get a very small kickback. It helps us here on the channel, and a massive thank you for the opportunity with Hopco, Heads or Tails Coins Collectibles, to work with you guys on that. That said though, I have purchased this with my own money. It's not a freebie, and if you are interested in buying these, I would, advise extreme caution because they're expensive pieces of silver. And that's kind of the topic of today's video as well, as we go through about it being a collectible, about it being expensive silver, and what that means and how I view that. Maybe that'll enlighten you guys, but I don't want to be kind of seen to be pumping this. If you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. If it is for you, there's an extra 10% off if you so wish. So there we have the Hydra, and this, you'll notice right off the bat, is considerably smaller than the Viking statue. As you can see, the Viking statue is a kilo plus, and this is 8 ounces, roughly 8 ounces. It's just over 8 ounces of sterling silver, so it's not fine silver. Sterling silver is important there because of all the little intricate details on it and the spines and everything. They would be very malleable with full-on 999 silver. So that's a very interesting side of things. Right on the bottom there, you can see the COA, the COA number 192, and we've got 270 grams, as you can see. So really, really awesome stuff. Now, I'm a huge geek when it comes to fantasy stuff, history, Greek mythology, Dungeons and Dragons. I played Dungeons and Dragons for so long when I was younger, and Hydras, mythological creatures like this, they just speak to me. And we were really, really excited to be able to pick this one up. When I was looking on Heads or Tails Coins Collectibles website, when we were deciding what we were going to get, we saw the Hydra, and it was already at a very good discounted price from their initial release price. It was down from $450 roughly to about $330, so a huge discount there. And it's still at that discount price, so you can get the 10% off on top of that huge discount. So you can actually pick this up for approximately $300 right now, which I think is a really, really good thing. That is, of course, expensive silver for its weight. It works out at something like $35, $37 an ounce for just the silver. Of course, that's, expensive stuff when you're looking at it being a stacking style investment, but I'm not looking at this as a stacking style investment. This is a piece of art. This is an investment in the artwork, in the brand of Heads or Tails Coins Collectibles, in the brand of their statues, their solid silver statues, and an investment in, something that's really unique and very, very cool. Every single one of these is handmade. Every single one will be ever so slightly different as well, which is really nice to know. And the limited mintage of 1,000. That sounds like quite a lot for something like this, but they're made to order, and they're essentially up to about around the 190s at the moment. So they're really very, very cool stuff indeed, and I'm exceptionally happy with this. It complements my Viking statue very well, albeit it's dwarfed by its monstrosity of a cousin over there, in that sea serpent coming out and eating the Viking berserker's boat. Really, really incredible stuff. Now, obviously, collectibles, there's a huge market for collectibles. It's funny that in this world of silver stacking that there's a lot of kind of a visceral reaction to, silver pieces of art, basically, that are expensive, but I always use this analogy when somebody, and there probably will be people on this video who'll come and they'll make a comment, a snide comment saying it's a rip-off or it's a very expensive piece of silver. No, thank you. And that's fine. And there's a lot of people who will be very, very magnanimous with that feedback, and they'll want to just, share that feedback and say it's not for them. And that's great. But then there's the occasional person who's really rude. And I don't really see the point, because you don't go and shout at people who've bought a piece of art in a gallery. The art itself, the paint, the canvas, it's not worth what you're paying for it, but people still buy it. And it's a market for that. It's a collectible market. It's an artistic market. And that's exactly what this is. It's just in the form of silver. And what I like about this, rather than a painting, for example, is that it does always have some intrinsic value to it. So in the worst case scenario, you can always get a bit of your money back. Whereas with a painting, unless there's somebody who specifically wants that piece of art or that artist's work, then you're a bit up the brown creek without a paddle sometimes when it comes to artwork. So that's kind of my thought processes on this. And I always use that analogy for anybody who's just going to throw up silly kind of, derogatory comments about expensive pieces of silver, basically. So you have to, without a shadow of a doubt, admit that this is a beautiful piece of silver. And what makes this so beautiful is the amount of energy and effort and time that goes into not only the manufacturing of it, and bear in mind these are made all the way over in Singapore by expert silversmiths in Thailand and Singapore, which is really, really incredible. They go into huge amount of hours to create each piece. There's a lot of individual components of this whole piece, as well as the Viking Berserker, which are individually cast and then assembled together with incredible amounts of attention to detail. And as well as all of that, my point here is that there's an exceptionally large amount of 3D design that goes into this. It's very much a modern world kind of, it's two worlds coming together. The old school art and craft history of manufacturing something with your hands and creating, but also the 3D master designer and sculptor, who I believe is called Cosmin Mora, or Mora Cosmin. I'm not sure which way round his name is, but he's apparently he holds various degrees in sculpture from the universities of Bucharest, I read on the Hensel Tales Coins and Collectibles website. And he is an incredible designer. So a massive, massive job well done for a job well done here for him. Really, really impressive. So what do you guys think of the Hydra? Let's just have a very close look at some of the features here. So we've got obviously three-headed Hydra. Now the Hydra is, of course, the mythological creature of the deeps in Greek mythology. The three-headed Hydra here. If you cut one of the heads off, two more will come back. It's not a very nice creature to fight, that's for sure. And I remember a number of different Dungeons and Dragons campaigns back in the day, back in my youth, when we would fight Hydras. And I have to say, this is pretty much perfect size for a Dungeons and Dragons miniature. If you have the budget for a very, very cool miniature in your games and you want to fight a three-headed Hydra, this would look perfect on the gaming table, and it would be a sight to behold for all of the gamers around the table. It's the kind of monster that you want to fight over and over again, and it probably get a bit old. Every campaign you did, it would have a Hydra in it. But hey, when you've got something that looks this good, why not, hey? Yeah, really good. Love it. So that is basically it for this Hydra. It's fantastic. I'm really happy with it. Mrs. Backyard Bullion hasn't seen it yet. She's still at work, and when she comes home, she'll see it, and I'm sure she'll enjoy it just as much as I am. But I really like it. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. I mean, like I said in the video, if you're the kind of person who just doesn't agree with expensive pieces of silver, it's probably not going to like it. But I hope that those of you out there who don't like expensive pieces of silver can still appreciate it for what it is, a really beautiful piece of art. And it's my purchase, my decision. And I hope you guys understand and respect that and just enjoy the show. It's maybe not something that everybody would buy. But if you are interested in buying it, of course, remember that there's that discount code that I mentioned at the start of the video, BYB Hydra. That's down in the description below. There's a link to the Hydra page on Heads or Tails Coins and Collectibles website. And just a reminder for full kind of transparency that is an affiliate code, so we get a small kickback from the sale of any items on the website. It's not just for the Hydra, it's any items on the website if you wanted to pick up something like the Viking Berserker statue. And that goes a long way to helping our channel and our brand. So if you're interested in either of those things, supporting us and buying something from Heads or Tails, then now is the best time. They've got a really good amount of sale items at the moment, so go and check them out. Oh, there was one other thing that I did not showcase for you, which I brought out here on the table. So when you get that statue, that big Viking statue, that's an event. And when I got it, it was a very low serial number. And I'm struggling to open this bag, sorry. And there was meant to be a COA coin with it. Do you know what? I'm just going to rip open this bag because I've got loads of these tiny little bags and I cannot be bothered to try and get it working with my chewed fingernails. Anyway, here are the official COAs for the Viking Berserkers. Now, not only did we get the Viking Berserker and its COA, which is number 7 of 250, but we also got the accompanying Viking Berserker coin, or I say coin, round that came with it as well, which is a limited mintage of 1,000. So a huge thank you to Heads or Tails Coins Collectibles for sending that through. I will at some point be featuring this on In Focus Friday, I think at some point. But also we'll learn a little bit more about it then. But that's a really cool little extra addition. And there's also a COA that's come with the Hydra as well, which you can see there. There it is, number 192 of 1,000. I think that matches up. Yes, number 192. So that's all good. Very happy with that. As well, there's a polishing cloth, which you saw at the start. This is a little polishing cloth that they supply with all of their statues. Because it's sterling silver, it will, it will tarnish further over time. Although I have to say, this Viking statue hasn't actually tarnished any additional amount. But there's a nice polishing cloth there that you can use to keep it nice and shiny, basically. That's about it. I know they ship worldwide, so if anybody out there is interested from places like the US, Canada, or wherever you may be in this big wide world, then I know that they can distribute worldwide. That's very, very good to know. And for those of you in the UK, there will be some import duty charges to have on these, but there's a tariff code which they use which creates only 5% duty rather than 20%. So I'm sure if you message Heads or Tails Coins Collectibles directly, they'll be able to tell you exactly what that code is and how to use it and everything. And I've only had to pay a small amount of import duty on these when they've come into the country, which is really good. So there we go. That is basically it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed the talk about the topic of collectibles and expensive pieces of silver, then let me know your thoughts on that topic and the Hydra statue itself down in the comment section. That'd be very, very cool. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs up, share it around on social media. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already and you want to see future videos from myself, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, I wish you all a fantastic week ahead. Please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.